Now, as we told you earlier in the newscast, Bahamasair's Repatriation flight touched down earlier this afternoon with more than 100 passengers from South Florida who have concerns as it relates to this whole COVID-19 pandemic. Now, to give us an idea of the latest on that flight is, of course, Foreign Affairs official Sharon Brennan Haylock. Good evening, Ms. Haylock. Can you tell us how many passengers would have come in on the flight and what role Foreign Affairs has played?
Yes, the flight had 135 nationals and residents. It touched down first in Grand Bahama, and it's now on its way to Nassau with the with the passengers who live in New Providence. Foreign Affairs plays a coordination role. We bring all of the relevant agencies together to plan the return of the nationals, and the relevant agencies include, for example, Customs, Immigration, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Airport Authority, the Ministry of Health, working across the lines with our colleagues in Grand Bahama as well, and our colleagues of the Bahamas Consulate in Miami, Florida.
How difficult is the process of arranging all of these? This is, I guess, the second week of repatriation flights. How difficult is the process?
I wouldn't say that the process is difficult. What it is that you have to be extremely meticulous and careful in everything that you do to make sure that persons who get on the flight meet all of the criteria. And by that I mean that they have their COVID-19 negative test, that they are either a Bahamian national or a legal resident of the Bahamas. So it's making sure the checking and double checking to make sure that all of the criteria is met. Takes time because we have to be very careful, but I wouldn't say it's a difficult process.
So at this point, as it relates to this flight today, you can say that all of the criteria has been met.
All of the criteria has been met. As far as I know, we've been cross-checking throughout the course of the day as people were checking in at Fort Lauderdale. We were constantly checking with each other to make sure that the criteria was met.
Are you able to say how many passengers would have stopped off in Grand Bahama and how many traveled here to the capital?
The flight has 135 persons and 3 infants, I believe, and I think there were 2 doctors who also went over to Fort Lauderdale to help with the verification process on the COVID-19 test. So, from what I understand, 60 persons landed in Grand Bahama, and the remainder of the persons are coming to New Providence.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sharon Brennan Haylock from the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Thank you so much.